Hello and welcome to my video today. Today's topic is protecting your personal device. Now, personal devices can mean a little bit of anything. Honestly, it can mean your mobile phones. Most of us have smartphones. It can mean tablets. It can mean laptops. It can mean just anything that you carry with you that you use on a day-to-day basis. For most of us, again, it is that personal device of choice is going to be our smartphone. We choose phones with as much capability as possible and as many abilities and features and memory and everything else, to make our lives that much easier. So that'll be my main focus today: protecting your your mobile device that you carry with you, because in many ways the mobile device is an extension of your laptop, tablet, home PC. Maybe if you have a workstation, a desktop still. Not too many of us have those anymore, just for time and space constraints and stuff. And not to mention that a lot of us do the bulk of our work on our favorite chair, on our couch, or on our maybe laying in bed. We do some of these things and stuff. So the desktop and workstation definitely is going away, at least from a personal use perspective and stuff. But again, there's still a lot of practical uses for those and stuff. But again, to each their own. If you prefer one or the other. Again, personal devices, mobile phones. Your smartphone houses more information than you realize. I mean, again, it's easy to forget how much you do on there. You have not only your contacts, your telephone numbers, your pictures, your videos, the apps that you have on there. The apps track everything. I mean, you have your apps for your daily banking. You have your apps to track your steps. You have your apps to showing your personal habits and personal shopping tendencies and your rewards, memberships, and so forth on there. So if the information that's within your personal device or cell phone is ever compromised, then a lot of times you find yourself without and lost. A lot of that stuff, even though some carriers and some devices offer backup capabilities and stuff, not too many of us will back up anything beyond, or maybe our telephone numbers or our phone books, so that way we don't lose our phone books. Because if you're like me and stuff, I don't remember very many phone numbers at all and stuff. I very heavily rely on my my mobile device or my cell phone to house all that information for me and stuff, which again at times has come back to haunt me in times that I've lost my phone and so forth and stuff. So the other information, what about your banking information, all that and stuff, a lot of that is not something you can back up. So again, somebody getting access to that information is has the potential for identity theft. Somebody getting into your bank accounts, taking your money, your hard-earned money, taking your memories and all these things that mean a lot to you. The top ways, and again, I covered it briefly on my previous video about the physical aspect of things. The physical aspect of things are little things and tips that you can do, like making sure that you don't leave your cell phone or your mobile phone laying around. Again, it's sometimes it's easy to be somewhere and just forget. You walk away, you leave it there, and again, all it takes is a few seconds. Somebody can grab that phone, take it, and so forth. So that's the biggest thing. Taking the necessary steps that you can, to kind of prevent those things that you have actually control over. Another thing you have control over is a passcode, or or some sort of biometric security on your phone. Again, it's hard to find a phone nowadays that doesn't have like a fingerprint scanner. Some even have retina scanners, face recognition, those kinds of things. Those are all nice. Again, the facial recognition is still in my opinion, at least, a work in progress. There's still some work that they need to do that to refine it to actually be able to pick up a person's face versus the shape of their head or their face or their features and stuff. It seems like, again, it's still in the early infancy stages. At least for what's on our mobile devices. I'm sure that some government agencies or some larger corporations have refined that, and again, maybe it comes down to cost. Maybe it's one of those things where it's just not cost effective to put something high level or high end on a mobile device yet. But again, I say yet because it's only a matter of time before these things make their way to our personal devices. So again, taking advantage, making sure you always have it protected on there, and have your account linked. Whether you have a Samsung phone, create a Samsung account, link it to your Samsung account. If you have an Apple iPhone, create it. Make sure you link, to your iTunes or your account on your phone. That makes it a lot harder. Even if somebody can gets a hold of your phone and stuff, it makes it a lot more difficult for them to be able to do anything to it. Thus far, I have not seen anyone that on a regular, on a personal regular basis, that they can crack an iPhone with an iTunes account linked to it and stuff. On the other hand, Android phones are a little bit, and again, this is my opinion, not based on any intensive research that I've done yet anyway, but Android phones, if you can bypass the password, you can easily wipe and wipe the phone completely and reuse it, resell it, that kind of thing. Where again, like on the inverse, the iPhone, that's one of the advantages that I think iPhone has over a lot of the Android phones out there, is in that, again, even if you bypass the password and stuff, you can. It's very near impossible to wipe the the iTunes link and accounts on those phones. So essentially, it becomes a paperweight because nobody can ever reactivate it, resell it, reuse it. For anything other than just regular web browsing, if they decide to put it under Wi-Fi or something and stuff, but again, it's still a little safety thing there. So other things you can do is be weary of using public Wi-Fis, and again, I'll go into a little bit more details on using public Wi-Fis, and the examples of those are like what you see at Starbucks, at McDonald's, a lot of places you go to, even malls, shopping centers, are starting to offer a free Wi-Fi service and stuff, So be wary of those, and again, I'll go into greater details on why those are, on a later video, why those and things to look out for and so forth on there. But those are big. Threats from a personal perspective again. But other things, keeping an eye on surroundings, making sure nobody sneaks up behind you, watches you type in your password, make sure nobody walks up behind you, watches you, enter your credentials into your banking account app or some other personal information that you have on your phone. So just being aware of that. Another thing, again, and this kind of ties into to using the mobile Wi-Fi, is that looking into getting an antivirus or a anti-spyware or malware protection on your phone. Now, I know that traditionally, at least, we usually think of adding those to our tablets or our laptops and desktops, and then now it's starting to trickle into the tablets as the tablet capability is increasing, and more, and being and little by little, in many cases replacing the use of laptops even. Like I said, you add those on there, but you can also add them to your phone again, and it's just another layer of protection. As with most things again, there's no sure way, and again, I'll reiterate this on most of my videos and stuff, that there's no 100% foolproof way of stopping somebody, from getting your information, hacking your phone, hacking your computer, hacking your network. All you can do is add as many layers of protection as you can. Take care of the things that the countermeasures and things that you can protect on your own. Whether again it's a password, biometric, antivirus, being aware of your surroundings, that kind of thing, and that's all we can do. Do our due diligence. That way, in the end, if something does happen or does some some sort of incident does occur and stuff, at least we know we took the steps that were within our power to do. Well, again, that's it for this video. Again, if you have any comments, questions or suggestions on future videos, feel free to hit like and hit a comment on there. Feel free to subscribe. I'll be putting similar content on here as we go along. And again, I appreciate you tuning in, and take care. Thanks.